Yes, hi everyone, it's Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel. I've decided to put together a few videos on my weight loss journey. So I've decided, well, I need to put things up that might actually help people, along the way, because I've watched videos from other people and that's helped me. So this morning I'm going to do one on how I actually came to qualify for bariatric surgery here in Gisborne. So to get started, my journey began in January 2017. I came back from Sydney for my brother's funeral at the end of January, and at that time, within a couple of days of being back, I'd had a cellulitis infection in my lower tummy. So I've been having them for quite a while, over the last 13 years or so. And when I do get them, I have to have a long course of antibiotics. But when I came back to New Zealand in January, I actually had to go into hospital and have, for the second time after a year, it's been a year ago since then I came back, I had to have the IV antibiotics because the oral ones just weren't going to help. So yeah. So this has started from a trauma from years ago, from a car accident. And when you get the cellulitis, it's nothing, no matter what you do with weight loss, eating properly, it really doesn't help. You can still be prone to having the infections there. Now, when I get them, my whole tummy would get inflamed from one side to the other. The skin goes quite thick in the worst part of it, which is my lower right side. And I get chills and fever as well, and that's how I know I've actually got it, because I have had 5 Caesars in the past, and about that far, I suppose, above the cesarean section scar is all numb. Like quite a bit of my tummy is numb. So if I have anything like a scratch, you only need to get a little bump, a scratch, or anything as simple as, and it'll just start to get inflamed. And I really don't know I've got it until I've got the chills and fever. Because obviously it's quite a lot of skin I can't actually see under there, which is shit. So yes, I've had many over the last 13 years. I don't know, about 8, at least 8 to 10 times, I suppose. So when I got back to Gisborne and I went to the hospital for it, I saw my old GP, Dr. Peters, who works in the ER, and he had a look at me and asked me how long I've been having these. I told him for years, and he's advised me to have the surgeries here in Gisborne, which I was really amazed because I didn't know they did that here. I mean, the last time I was back here, I don't think it was had even started. So I was, as you can tell, I was really excited. I would have been, because it costs a lot of money to have these surgeries done. So he's advised me to stay back in Gisborne, which I have done. I've been back for a little while now. It's now coming up to August, and it's been a long journey, but I've been much more aware of what I've been eating and all that sort of thing. So yes, so he advised me to go be put on the list for surgery for a apronectomy, which is to get rid of all the lower tummy, which is, no matter what diet or physical activity I do, it will never come away, and that's where I keep getting these infections. Also, they want to put me through for the gastric sleeve operation, which restricts you from eating too much. And if you do, you do actually feel sick. Yeah, so going from eating maybe 2 massive plates of food, I'll only be able to have probably right at the start, after you have the op, a tablespoon of food would fill you up. And then sort of as time goes on, you probably progress over to maybe a half a plate of what I would normally have had 2 of. Yeah, so while I was in hospital on the IV, Dr. Peters had organised for the bariatric team to come and see me, which was the bariatric surgeon, Dr. Stiven. So he came to see me, and he's the one that advised me that it would be the best option for me because, I've tried many, many things to get rid of. I've actually been to the gym. For a whole 6 to 8 months, I was ridiculously gymming it, eating well. I lose a certain amount, but always that tummy would never go. It would shrink a little bit, but not to the extent that gone. It would just, then I would get an infection and I'll be back to square one again. Fall off the wagon because the infection is just too inflamed, and I get worried that if I aggravate the area too much, it's going to come back. So yes, I also had seen the clinical nurse Sarah Garrett, who was really, really optimistic, and she's the person that takes care of your main appointments and everything like that. Even though I had seen them in the hospital and they had told me that I will be going through for the surgery to, change my lifestyle, and there's a whole lot of things that you have to try and do yourself, which is, I love these kinds of challenges. For me, it's a challenge, and I always love to step up to it. So I still even had doubts that it would even come around. So, yes, when I got my first bariatric appointment letter, I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, it's actually happening. So, yes, I really was overwhelmed with it all, and I just couldn't wait to get started. So, yeah, and also when they did tell me, I thought, oh, good gosh, how was I going to pay for this surgery? I know it's cost a lot of money, but I was unaware that they actually had a public waiting list, which, if you're on a waiting list, you have to wait. So I was all good for that. I actually left my family behind, and they were okay at the start. As time's gone on, they sort of struggled a little bit with me not being with them. And yeah, their financial burden has been quite hard for them. Because I was the one that was the main income earner, the household, but they've had to step up and get their own work, which they have done, but it's been a bumpy ride for them as well. So yeah, it's been very exciting. My family are happy for me to be having this. They know it's going to be better for me and for them. I want to be fit. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to run around with my grandchildren, who I miss so much. It's been, I've had tears from just thinking about, oh my goodness, I can't wait to get home. But their support's been okay. My parents have been a real encouragement for me. My mum, she's like a, army barracks when it comes to diet and things like that. She's lost a lot of weight on her own. She hasn't had surgery. My dad struggles. I think that's probably, when I really do look at it, my dad's side of the family are the ones that have had a lot of weight problems. Really, some of them are super morbidly obese, like way bigger than me. So I'm so glad to be going through for this surgery. And it's not that far away now. So, yeah. Loving the journey. It's been a long one. It's not, when I think about it, it's a long journey, but it's not as long as it's taken me to get to this stage where I've just had no light at the end of the tunnel, but now I do see it, and it's getting closer. So excited. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people out there that struggle with the idea of having weight loss surgery, but when you weigh up the options, do you want to live a life? I just feel like over the last 6 years, I've gotten really, really bad. It's been get up, go to work, struggle to get there, struggle at work, even though, I put a smile on my face and it looks like I'm doing okay, but I know I can't have been. I was so bad. Like, I couldn't even physically do all that I know I could have if I had lost a bit more weight. So, yeah. So, anyone thinking about going for the surgery, I'd seriously weigh up the options of, do you want to be living a life, or do you just want to be here, basically? So, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.